we have Danny from the band Voyager over in Perth on the phone with us right now. Hi, Danny.
Hi, how you going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic in the other side of the country.
Yeah. A long way away.
Long way.
But you're about to head off on tour and you are actually making your way over here.
We are indeed, yes. We just announced it today. So, in fact, this is the radio exclusive, I guess. We'll be making our way to promote our new album entitled V, or Roman numeral 5, however you'd like to call it, in July, starting in Canberra and making our way through Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, and then back in Perth. So some good tour dates there.
Yeah, and that's, as you said, July. And I told you I had my co-host here, but I didn't formally introduce you.
You didn't.
Danny, this is Fraser. Say hello to Danny.
Fraser, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
But yeah, you're actually starting off in Canberra on the 4th of July.
Correct.
And then you headed to the factory floor in Sydney on the 5th. The 11th, you'll be, in Brisbane.
Yes.
And then you must be going to jump on a plane because you're in Melbourne on the 12th at the Workers' Club.
Exactly, yeah. Definitely not doing that drive, I can tell you.
Yeah.
No, especially not in that short a time.
No, we've done worse. We've done the west coast of America to the east coast of America in 2.5 days, record time, just to make a show. So we'll do anything to bring our music to people.
Yeah.
So how many times have you toured America?
We've done it twice. We did a Small Run to Play festival in 2011 and then did a 17-show concert tour in 2012 with an Italian band called Rhapsody of Fire. So that was amazing, actually. And later in the year, we'll be going to Europe and exploring that continent. So good things happening.
All right. You have been to Europe and Asia before?
Yes, we have. We've been to Europe twice, not for a long time though. And last year we played Hammer Sonic Festival in Indonesia, which was a pretty amazing experience in itself. And
you've played shows with Devin Townsend and Soilwork and Orphaned Land and Children.
Yeah, we've played with a whole bunch of people. Nightwish and Hailstorm and Children of Bodom. So the list goes on. We've had a pretty good career so far, and hopefully this 5th album will bring it a step further. It has been called our best yet, which is a pleasing thing to hear when you release a new album. Yeah, but as a band, you probably feel that way about every album you release, don't you? Absolutely, yeah. It's just a matter of finding out whether the rest of the world feels the same or not.
Right. And so you guys have actually been going since 1999, have you?
Yes, technically that's right. Even though our first album was released in 2003 in Europe, technically the band, with me starting out on guitars very poorly, has been around since 1999 until I realised that keyboards and vocals were definitely much more my calling than crappy guitar playing.
You recorded 4 albums before this, is that right?
That's exactly right, yep. How was this recording going? Well, this recording was a much more collaborative process. It was, the lineup that we have now, I feel, is very strong. It's very congruent, and we all made it happen as a band rather than in the past. It was very much me writing the bulk of the song and then the band sort of making a little human being out of it. This was a very collaborative effort, and it worked really, really well. The result has spoken for itself, and the reviews so far that we've been getting have been excellent, so can't really complain on that front. Yeah, I look forward to hearing the whole album, which at the moment you have the single Breaking Down out from the album. That's correct, yep. And as you said on your Bandcamp, you can actually pre-order it. Yes, you can pre-order the album as a digital or a CD copy. You can order also with a CD, with a T-shirt. Interesting design there with a silhouette of me and the guitar and a big V in the background. So it's proving to be quite a popular design.
How did
but you can pre-order it. That's right. You get two free tracks downloaded now, and then on the 2nd of June, when the album is digitally released, you get the whole thing.
How did the guitar come about getting in the band?
Funnily enough, it was a present from some friends of mine. They decided one day that would be a good idea to get it for me, and it was this bright red thing. It's a 1989 Roland AX1. And I saw it and I thought, I have to use this live. And as soon as I pulled it out at a show, I didn't even need to play it. I just held it up, and this crowd went nuts. And I thought, this is going to be my new thing. So I've never looked back since.
Cool. And so with everything that you have already done with the band in touring and the people you've played with and that, and as you said, you're going to be, did you say you actually got plans to go back to America, or are you just thinking about
Yeah, well, our immediate plans are we're playing the Prague Power Festival in the Netherlands later this year in October,
right.
Doing a few more shows in Europe, and then our aim is to get back to the States where we have a very good following as well, hopefully next year.
Right, and who is it that you would most like to do a show with that you haven't done one with yet?
That's a good question. I'd really like to do a show with Type O Negative, but they're no longer, because Peter Steele obviously is no longer with us, so that's going to be a bit difficult to do. But I think there's some bands, like some good European bands. Scar Symmetry is a personal favourite of mine. I'd love to do some shows with them. But we've had so much fun with so many bands who I never expected we would gel with. Bands like Ailstorm or Children of Bodom or even Rhapsody of Fire. Such different genres that the main thing for us is just going and playing to as many people as we can.
Well, I'm going to ask you to say hello to Tim over in the UK, because he's asking people to jump on and interject in our interview.
Hello, Tim. What's the interjection? Do tell.
I'm not sure. Just distracting me. That's what he's doing. He's very good at distracting me. Thank you, Tim.
Very bad, Tim. We'll be in the UK, hopefully in sometime in October as well, so I better see Tim at those shows. Actually,
if I remember correctly, Tim does a emerging bands blog, and I think he said he's just written about you, or he's about to write about you, something like that.
Fantastic. Good to hear.
So, yeah, maybe he'll catch you at your show over in the UK when you get there.
That'd be great.
Facebook.com/Voyager Australia is where people can find you. And
it is. Also, you can purchase our album, pre-order it from Bandcamp. We're doing this pretty much for the first time without a label. I don't know how much you know about the Kickstarter campaign that we did. We did a crowdfunding model because, quite simply, I'm a little bit over the music industry and the way it works. So we took matters into our own hands, did a Kickstarter, said, look, we need about 10 grand to finish the album. And we ended up getting almost 20 from fans, which is amazing. And it's enabled us to do amazing things that we have been able to do now. And I think it's the future of music. And I think kudos to those people who embrace that and jump onto that model, because I think it's the way forward.
Well, I'm not sure, Fraser, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure Fraser mentioned before the show when we were doing a bit of research that you'd gotten the money you needed in the first 3 days of the campaign.
Exactly right. Yep. So it was pretty overwhelming. It was, to be honest, it was a bit of a gamble, because we thought, maybe it's a bit naff to do a crowdfunding thing. But no, we decided we've got a pretty good, solid fan base, and yeah, within 3 days we'd hit our target, and just kept creeping up, and we were just sort of sitting there in disbelief, and here we are.
Yeah. So what plans for the future then? Are you already thinking about doing another album?
Absolutely not right now. We're focusing on just the touring aspect, bringing the new album to the fans, bringing our albums hopefully to as many people as we can. Touring Europe, going overseas, and then firstly obviously doing this Australian tour to give back to our fans here. And obviously there are some melodies floating around, but I think for the moment it's just all focus on V.
Right. And can I ask, do you actually look at your Facebook yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. We're totally all over our Facebook constantly.
Right, because Tim sent me a link. He has written about your band or your album, one or the other.
Oh, which blog is it?
Well, I'm pasting it onto your Facebook right now.
Oh, right. Look at that. Interactive radio, internet, it's all happening. You're pasting it onto my... Look at this. This is internet in action. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Which blog is it? I hope it's favourable. I hope you wrote favourable things on there.
I'm sure he did. Oh, no, he would have. I'm sure he did. But, yeah, it's really like coming from like between Victoria and WA and the UK all in one little awesome interaction.
Emerging indie bands. Yes, I have read that one. That's awesome. I didn't really consider that we were an emerging indie band, but I was very pleased to see us on that blog and very pleased to see a very positive review. So thank you, Tim.
Well, you no longer have a record label, so you are.
That's true. You're absolutely right. We've got our own record label and giving the big finger to the big conglomerates, saying, no, we're doing it ourselves.
Yeah. And So people should get out and, as you said, get onto your Facebook, facebook.com/Voyager Australia. There is a link to your Bandcamp on the front of that.
That's right, yep.
Where they can order V or 5, whichever you'd like to call it.
Yes, that's correct.
And you do have a website, which is voyager-australia.com.
Yes.
And the shows. Fraser, what have you got the show dates there?
I do. You're playing Friday the 4th in Canberra, the 5th in Sydney, the 11th in Brisbane, the 12th in Melbourne, the 19th in Adelaide, and the 26th in Perth.
Correct.
That's going to be
supported by Caligula's Horse, the Progressive Masters from Brisbane.
Nice.
So that should be a good little lineup there with, of course, local supports in each city as well.
That's going to be a hell of a tour.
I think so. I'm already looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say you'll be at the Workers' Club in Melbourne on the 12th, and this is July that we're talking about.
July indeed, yeah. Can't wait to be at the Workers' Club. It's a good little venue. Make it nice and packed and sweaty.
We've got sound effects happening here.
We've got something going
The air conditioner's just started making a lot of noise.
Because I said sweaty.
Maybe. It has been great talking to you. Is there anything you want to say to people about getting out and seeing the show?
Absolutely. I'll take the opportunity to take a full circle and quote from Tim's blog, emergingindybands.com, and he says, and I quote, "Beautiful is a strange word to apply to music, but somehow suits. There is an oral beauty to the compositions, which are delivered with a gentleness that is enhanced by the powerful undercurrent. It makes little difference which style of music you personally prefer. As you well know, I have a penchant for the chaotic. I would be amazed if you two weren't transfixed by the majesty of it all." Thank you, Tim. That sounds pretty good.
That's quite nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have a proper read of this full thing
Absolutely.
When I've got Fraser sitting over here in the driver's seat.
And she can relax.
Yeah. It has been great.
It's been a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you again one day, and hopefully I can get down to the Workers' Club on the 12th of July and catch your show.
Love to see you all down there.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
We're going to play the song Breaking Down from Voyager right now.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Danny.